good time zone, folks, and also good evening, Xander. It's good to have you here again. Yeah.
It's great to be here too.
Yeah. Today we're gonna be learning how to use Live2D. Well, I'm gonna teach Xander how to use Live2D. And now for the rest of the folks at home, why don't you, who've yet to meet you, mind letting them know who you are and what you do, Xander?
Hi, I'm Soul King Xander. I'm the tutorial boss VTuber that doubles as a catalogist and interviewer. I host a show called Sketchalog where I interview people and about various sorts of opinions and perspectives on content creation. And being a tutorial boss, I thought it would be a prudent idea to get some instructions from other professionals, other experts.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much for having me on again, for collaborating with me. And I'll do my best to teach you, and hopefully you'll be able to take home something. Hopefully you'll be able to learn something today.
I hope so too.
Yeah, because the point of today's stream is to not make it perfect. The point is just for you to learn something. And I'll do my best to go at it as simple as I can. Because I've been using Live2D for a few years now, probably since 2021 or something. And even until now, sometimes I forget the terminologies. So that's why I made a little bit of a guide for Xander to read, and we'll follow it along, and I'll let you folks in on the guide as well. So now, let's begin. On your screen, you have the model, and he looks a little weird right now, but that's because we're gonna be utilizing a neat little feature later on. But first things first, I'm gonna teach you how to kind of navigate through the Live2D interface. Part project, the former log, inspector, it's the below tool details. You have the inspector.
Okay.
Yeah. And then this is the, stuff happens here if you click on a part of the model. Try clicking on a part of a model, like the fringe or anything, really. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see the part name, the part ID, and then all these other stuff. But we're just gonna be focusing mostly on the part ID and the clipping ID. That's what we're gonna be focusing more. Oh, also draw order and maybe opacity later, but we'll see later. Draw order is when you can reorganize the layering of the parts without actually touching the folders under the parts folder, which you can find on the upper left part of your screen. So you don't have to touch this really. You can just play around with the draw order, which we'll be exploring more later on. Then yeah, there's the parameter window just below the inspector. That's where the that's where you're gonna be putting in all the green dots to make the character move. And then the next one is the edit texture atlas. That's very important when you make VTuber models, because that's where VTube Studio will get the pictures from. It's kind of like in 3D modeling, where it's like all of the pieces of the character being flat there. UV map, something like that. Texture atlas.
Okay.
And then the manual mesh edit, for now, we don't really have to worry about this. But it's basically the thing where you add the little polygons, the little triangles to make the pieces move. Because right now, since you have your fringe selected, it has this square shape, the four-pointed square, right? The one in white. And then right now it's kind of stiff because it only has 4 points to work on. So you won't be able to move it around, distort it and stuff to make the physics and the distortion, whatever. So for now, we're gonna be focusing on automatic mesh generator. We can just select the standard preset.
Okay.
And there you go. Now we have more meshes on the fringe. We'll be doing that for all of the parts. We can just Control A and do the thing. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now he's a little. He's got a lot of points now, does he?
I'm getting acupuncture.
Yeah, you're getting acupunctured, especially in the face area. And then first of all, first and foremost, we're gonna be reorganizing the parts first.
Okay.
So under your parts window, you can go ahead and select jacket underscore back, which is at the bottom, somewhere at the bottom. There you go.
Underscore back. Select it?
Yeah, select it. And then under the inspector window, under the draw order, yeah, you can go ahead and type in maybe 300. So we're basically sending the part to the back. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now he's got his coat on properly. Now for the horns pattern, just so we could make it a little neat, you can select horn L_color. Okay, you Control C, just copy paste it. No, just copy it. Don't paste it yet. And then select horns pattern.
Okay.
And then under clipping ID, under the inspector window, you can go ahead and paste it. So you could clip the pattern inside, and then press enter.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Flipping layer. Okay.
Yeah. Now that it's a bit cleaner, maybe we can also do the same with the mouth. So now we're gonna be going to the texture atlas, the button that I told you earlier. Yeah, you can just leave the texture atlas name as is, and all of this the same. Yeah, okay. I'll just make mine a bit bigger. There you go. Now we can start. So what do you want to do first? Because in my opinion, or at least what I'm trying to do moving forward, is I want to try doing big edits first, like big parts first and then the little parts first. That's where the Control Shift Alt dragging thing comes in. Or do you want to do small parts first? Like we're going to do the eyes first and then we're going to work our way outwards from there.
I would like to do this in exactly the way you would do this.
Okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. So now that you've claimed that, there's no going back.
Right.
Okay. So from the deformer, so now we're gonna be grouping these together by using warp deformers. Okay, with the green box. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna go to the deformer window.
Deformer.
Yeah, the big one. Yeah. And then you select fringe. And then we're just gonna select everything. So by pressing shift, well, you can scroll down first. Oops. Well, not everything. Try again. Sorry.
What do you not want me to select?
Because we're gonna be selecting all of the head parts first. And to do that, we're gonna select the fringe all the way up to the back hair. You can do that by scrolling down, then shift clicking. So you can select, yeah, perfect.
Right now.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a rotation deformer.
Okay.
Then we can go ahead and label that as head Z. Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't say Z, or is that just a European?
I'm not Canadified yet. I'm not Canadified enough. Because apparently I think
Z is proper.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Oh, one last thing. I forgot to clip your goatee. It's a goatee, right? What's a goatee? The one in the chin.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, we can do the same clipping technique from earlier. So now we have the head Z rotation. But before anything else, there's a lot of but before anything else, so you're gonna have to forgive me. We are going to create more rotation deformers. So okay. So we're gonna create the one for the arm next. So let's go ahead and select the arm L and hand L. Yes, that one, yes. And then go ahead and click create rotation deformer once again. Then just put it under, arm L. The destination part should be arm L, and arm L should be fine. And then we're just gonna drag it to somewhere where the shoulder should be. If you need to see where the shoulder actually is, you can hide layers. Yeah, around there is fine, yeah. And then since it's pointing upwards, just for your peace of mind and for your visual guide, you can actually rotate the upwards arrow thing, by also press and holding control and then rotating it. Yeah, there you go. And then to extend it, you can just press Alt and then drag it out without affecting the picture, without affecting the actual image. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. We'll just go ahead and copy paste the arm to the other side later on. Let's copy paste the arm now, actually. So we can go ahead and select arm L, hand L, and arm R, hand L, like basically all of the hand parts. And then just adjust the draw order to maybe 250. It's a little too low, but that's fine. 250 or 50, it's fine.
250.
Yeah, 250, it's okay. That's so when the arm moves, it's not going over the jacket back part. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and select everything except for the guide, but don't do Control A, because we really only need to select the 3 rotation deformers that we have so far, plus the other stuff that we haven't made deformers for yet. Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. And then we're gonna be creating a warp deformer.
Okay.
We're gonna name it Body Z and put it under the destination of Body. Body Z. Buzzy Z. Can't spell.
Bodies.
Bodies. So for now, since we're working on the big parts first and then we're gonna go smaller and smaller, we're just gonna extend the green box by selecting Shift, Control Alt, and then drag it out. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to press Control again, Control Shift rather,
Control Shift.
and then we're just gonna drag the green warp deformer box a little upwards so it's more in the canvas. Yeah, okay, perfect. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna click drag on the top half part of the warp deformer. To select it. Just click on the outside of the canvas and then just drag it. And then add 3 keys. It's the 3 green dots thing button. There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
And then you can just go ahead and right click on the left side of that 3 green dots. Right click is to snap it on the dots on the keyforms. And now we have the selection. We can go ahead and go to modeling, temporary deform tool, and then rotation. So now you have this, but the red crosshair thing right now is at the center of the head. So we're just gonna go ahead and drag that crosshair up to the bottom. You don't have to press on anything, just drag it. Like up to that, middle red dot thing. Yeah, there you go. You can zoom in and stuff, it's up to you really. Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just a bit I guess I just have a bit of an OCD that way, but on your end it's fine. Okay, now we can do the rotation. Because if you hover on the outer part of the selection, your cursor should turn into like a 2-arrow curve rotation. Yeah, there you go. Since we're at -10 on the parameter, we're gonna go ahead and make him turn to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go ahead and tilt him. We're gonna fix the middle area in a bit. Yeah, but not too much. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can go back to the start, and then you can go ahead and select the center points, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th row of points. Yeah, yeah. Like the click drag thing, and then right click on -10 under Body Z again. Yeah, and then we can just rotate it manually so as to fix it a little bit. While the Body Z warp deformer is selected, we're gonna go to modeling. We're gonna do motion mirroring, which you can find.
Motion mirror.
I forgot. Wait. Okay. Modeling.
Parameter.
Yeah, parameter. Perfect. Motion mirroring. And then you can just go ahead and flip that horizontally.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then now test it out. Like drag and drop, like drag the red dot across the parameter. Yeah, see, he's doing it.
Ooh.
He's alive! He's coming alive. Now that we have the Body Z, we can go ahead and do breath, actually.
Okay.
So now we're just gonna go ahead and select jacket _ front.
Okay.
Jacket back and torso, and then we're gonna create a new warp deformer, then name it breath. You can put it under body as well, and then very carefully we're gonna select the middle part of the chest, like just one mouse click on the middle of the chest. There you go, perfect, because we're gonna do like a subtle motion.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we're just gonna go ahead and click on the arrow tool with A, or the arrow tool, yeah, up there. So now you have this red selection, and we're just gonna Alt Shift and then drag it out. Yeah, you can even move it up a little bit if you want to give that effect of the chest moving up and down. It's very subtle, but sometimes subtle is all we need.
Okay, I think.
I'm not going too fast, am I?
No, you're good.
Okay, awesome. So now you can go ahead and check it out, test the breathing. And now we have a bit of breathing. Yes, there you go. Perfect. Let's go to angle Z. And then you can go ahead and create 3 keyforms by selecting the 3 green dots. Okay, awesome. And then under -30, on the left side of the parameter, you can go ahead and under the inspector, you can go about this to either way. So either under inspector and angle, you can just input the number or just drag to the number, or you can just do it via the editor window. You can just take the arrow thing from the rotation deformer and then just what do you call this? Yeah, and you can do the same on the other side, but instead of -20, just 20 is fine. Or you can do more, it's up to you. So what we're gonna do now is we're going to finally work on the face angles, the head angles, head face angles, something like that. Okay, so now you're just gonna go ahead and select both face color and face line, and then create a new warp deformer.
Yeah, looks good.
So now we're gonna do the same with the parts from the goatee up to the mustache, like on your deformer window. You select goatee and then shift click up to mustache. So basically we're selecting all of the face parts. Yeah. And then we can go ahead and create another warp deformer. Same thing, head XY. You can put it under the head folder or face folder, just to keep things a bit organized. Make 3 keyforms under angle X. And then you can go ahead and right click to -30 on the left side. And then you can just shift arrow key left the entire face. And then we can just go ahead and do the same for the other side. Or alternatively, we can just go ahead and do motion mirroring again. So now you have a bit of a left-right motion, right? And then right click it to 0, please. And then let's make a new 3 keyform under angle Y. And then let's do the up-down motion of the face then. Same thing, shift arrow key, but downwards. Up to where you're comfortable with. And then if you want to do the motion mirroring, you can also do it too. Just make sure that it's vertically this time. And then to quickly do the corners, I think the shortcut key is already built in. Try Control 4. We don't really have to change anything here, so you can just press OK. There you go. Now test it out. But first you gotta link angle X and angle Y. There's like a link button on the left. Yeah, link parameters, and then you can do the thing. Try it. Now yeah. It's happening! Slowly but surely. Trust the process. So before anything else, we're gonna smoothen the motion of the face, because right now it looks very boxy, like the path.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go ahead and go to extend parameter and then extended interpolation. Now you can do ellipse interpolation instead of linear. That'll be useful for later. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So now there's like a, what is it? A tweening in animation terms. You can go ahead and exit that window. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to copy paste the face XY warp deformer that you've done. So for now, we're gonna be working on this particular warp deformer. So for a bit, we're not gonna be seeing any changes, and then we're just gonna magically see the change after. We're just gonna encase it in another warp deformer. So just create another warp deformer on top of that face XY. Yeah. We don't have to name it, it's fine. And then, actually, we're gonna use the brush selection tool once again. And then make it bigger, like a lot bigger. Probably almost covering the temporary warp selection tool that we did. And then just do a 1 mouse click around the middle green plus sign, the green cross thing. Yeah, there you go. And then let's go back to the arrow tool and then just drag it out, like with the shift out button. Then drag it out with the select the red square. Yeah, there you go. Now it's kind of ballooning, right? And now you can go a bit crazy with it, like just really drag it out. Like zoom out if you have to, but not too much.
Okay, good.
So now, I hope this works. You're gonna select the mustache up to the goatee again. Like all of the face parts from the previous one. Yeah, there you go. And then you're just gonna drag and drop it under the copy that we made earlier. You're gonna drag and drop it under the face XY that you've created. You can go ahead and delete the temporary warp deformer that we did just now. Your face X, yeah, that one, and also face XY face. So now what happened is it's a bit curved now. Like if you move the angle XY around, the deformer is a bit curved. And then at this point, we can just manually correct it later. But let's move the head XY head first. And then a lot of this part is a bit of eyeballing. So it's like, what does a character looking upper right and upper left look like to you? And then you just follow that vision. So now, we're gonna go ahead and finally work on the eyes. Since in Live2D terms, right is left and left is right, we're gonna go ahead and work on the eye on the right, aka the left. The eye on the right side of the canvas, aka the character's left side. So, to do that, we're just gonna go ahead and select all of the eye parts first. So now we're just gonna encase it in a warp deformer, and we can name it as IXY or just plain I_L. Just so we have like a bit of a grouping thing going on. I don't think as of right now we're gonna actually deform the warp deformer that we made just now.
Okay.
But what I like to do is I like to just make the warp deformer a little bigger, like the green square only. Just a little bit, so I have a bit of breathing space, but it's more for me. So now we're gonna be directly handling, for the eyelid at least, and also for the eyebrow, we're gonna be directly handling the picture instead of relying on warp deformers. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take the deform path edit from the ribbon. So that's beside the brush selection tool. And then we're gonna select the eyelid, yeah, like what you have right now. And then we're just gonna click on the inner corner of the eye. So now we have a red dot. We're just gonna click another one to form a slight curve up to the outer corner of the eyelid. Increase the deform path hardness first to probably 98%. That's what I like to do. And then the deform path width, we can probably just go up to 45, because I like to click and drag it, the number, so I can see how big the circles are. Yeah, there you go. Probably a bit bigger. Are you learning? I hope I'm not like going too fast, or I hope I'm not loopy.
No, that's good.
Okay. That's good to know. Now that we've done that, we're gonna create a warp deformer of sclera_L, so we can make the eye open and close and stuff. We're not gonna make the eye rig complicated at this point, so you can do the same for both the iris and iris highlight. You can just group them together under one warp deformer, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, same with the head parts earlier, but we're not gonna do the manual brush and the expanding thing though, so don't worry about it. You can just select eyeball X for now and go to the leftmost side, so that's -1. And then once you're done with that, you can just mirror edit, so you can do the other side right away. Or you can manually do it, just in case it's not like cornered enough. Since the style of the iris is elongated, you can just squish it down instead by dragging the top part of the red square a bit downward. And then just to keep it uniform, you can also do the same for the up eye. Yeah, just a little bit. Once you're happy, you can go ahead and Control F4. No, Control 4. Don't Control F4. Control 4. Yeah,
okay.
To synthesize the corners.
Okay.
Yeah, just press OK. You don't have to do anything about that. And then also the extended interpolation. Extended interpolation under parameter. Modeling parameter and then extended interpolation. Okay, now that we've done that, what I like to do is I like to temporarily change the color of the sclera so I can see where I'm going. Would you?
Fair.
Yeah. So to do that, or if you want to do that, you can go ahead and select the sclera L part, and then under multiply color, you can select any random color. It's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take your iris XY and then encase it in another warp deformer and name it eye open. Or iris open is fine. Because we're gonna squish that a little bit as the eye closes, and we're gonna do it from there, yeah. So, we're gonna go to IR open under the parameter window. Yes. Oh wait, no, L open, sorry. It's reversed rather. And then we are going to select up lid, down lid, iris open, and eye open sclera. Yeah, okay. And then we're gonna make 2 keyforms or add 2 keys under IL open. So now you are going to go to 0, to the 0 key, and then we're gonna work on the upper lid first. So you can go ahead and select your upper lid, and while being on the arrow key where you're at right now, you're good. You're gonna select the green dots that we made earlier, and you're just gonna drag it down. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the lower lid. It can be up to the middle part of the entire eye. Yeah, you can also, you can also select multiple at the same time, and then you can just drag it. Like, use the red rectangle to reshape it. And then, since it's an anime style, kind of like a corn kernel style of eye shape, what I like to do is I like to make the entire upper lid shorter as it goes down.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still kind of the same width of the sclera of where it's at right now. Yeah, there you go. And then you can just curve it. You can just make the curve of the entire upper lid a little flatter. And then we can do the same thing for the down lid. We're just gonna meet the two eyelids together. Yeah, we can just put it up here. There you go. That's perfect. So now we're gonna take the iris open warp deformer. We're gonna select it. And then we're just gonna squish it a little bit and move it down. Okay. That's more of a me thing because when the eye closes, it kind of looks down. So to cheat that kind of effect, I just squish the iris instead. So I don't really have to think about the eyeball XY while I'm working on the eye open stuff. So now that we have that, we're gonna take the eye open sclera, and then we're also going to squish it. We're gonna squish it, and then we're going to hide it behind the eyelid that we just made. So now we're gonna be taking up lid L and the eye open sclera, and we're gonna make 3 keyforms under eyeball Y. Just make sure to unlink it first. Because when you look down and when you look up, your eyelid moves for real life. So I also want to do that in my VTuber models.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go ahead and go to the leftmost side of the parameter and then take the up lid L.
Yeah.
And then kind of just flatten the curve a little bit. Just a little bit. So it looks like the character is also going half lid as he's looking down. Yeah, just a little bit. And then same goes with looking up. Just make sure it's arced, curved up more. Additionally, it's so we can see more of the iris, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to make a gap in between the sclera, because we're also gonna extend the sclera area in a bit. I think we're pretty much done with the eye open and eyeball sclera stuff, so we can just go ahead and delete the multiply sclera layer because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, okay. So now we're gonna be working on the eyebrows. Angry, happy, angry, happy, angry.
Chat, is this Riz? Is this what?
It's like the eyebrow wiggle, but just one. Now that we're done with the eye parts, basically, we're gonna go ahead and select the IL folder from the parts menu. Then we're gonna copy that. You're gonna select the face folder, so you're basically selecting so you don't accidentally paste into.
Okay.
Yeah, and then paste it in there. And then just rename the parameter to IR and also the folder, just to keep things organized. So now, we are going to go to modeling. Wait, let me see.
Edit form.
Wait, hold on. Was it? Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
Or flip.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. Yeah, because I have my shortcut keys open. Yeah, horizontally, and then we're just gonna flip it to the other eye, and then just make sure everything is aligned. And once you're happy with the alignment, you can just go ahead and delete the IR guide. If you move the eyeball X around, he's gonna look a little wall-eyed. Whoa, crazy. So to fix that, we're just gonna select IXY iris, and then we're just gonna go to parameter eyeball X. No, the parameter window. Yeah. Right click on the keyform, on the green dot, and then you see on the right side of the parameter, there's a green button plus and the green button minus, and then there's the drop down. You can go ahead and go to reflect. Yeah. So now so now he's looking right. There you go. So now we have both the eyes, and now we're gonna work on the mouth. So we're gonna do the same. We're just gonna select all the mouth parts, so that's from mustache to mouth in, and then we're gonna encase it into a warp deformer. Just call it mouth, in case we need to move it around or something, but I don't think we need to. But for the sake of organization, we're just gonna group it together anyway. So now that we have that, you can go ahead and, kind of like with the upper eyelid, you're gonna take the lip up and add in the green dots again via the Deform Path tool. Yeah, and then just make sure that the left side has the same points as the right side. Just so you have a sense of symmetry when you start moving the mouth around.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Yeah. Which, by the way, do you, for the mouth forms, while you're doing that, do you want to do all 9 forms, or do you just want to do a basic mouth open, mouth closed kind of thing? Because the 9 forms is the one with the O mouth and the A shape mouth. Or do you want to keep it simple, like as in it's just?
I said we keep it simple for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do a bit of mouth X also, so but it's simple enough, so we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna focus on shaping the mouth to look like it's open first. But before that, you can go ahead and go to the mouth open parameter.
Okay.
Yeah. On the parameter window, you can go mouth open and then select lip down and lip up. And then you make 2 keyforms under mouth open.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you select the one on the rightmost side. Yeah. And that's where you shape the mouth to look like it's open. You can do it one by one, yeah. Now,
so like,
yeah. Well,
for the bottom lip, do I just like form it to be like the
letter D?
The actual mouth?
No, you don't have to follow. You don't have to follow the pink shape. You can just form it in a shape that you're happy with. Just don't follow the pink shape because it's too big. I drew it too big because I like to deform it a lot later. And I want to have a lot of allowance for that. And then I also like to move the upper lip a little bit, because when we open our mouths, the upper lip also moves.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't really have to move the teeth because the upper teeth doesn't move. So we can just, So we can go ahead and make a warp deformer with the mouth in. For now, we don't have to make keyforms or whatever. So we're just gonna shape it into the open mouth shape. We're gonna follow along the shape for now.
Okay.
Then once we're happy, only then we can finally make keyforms to make it closed. I merged the tongue on the picture, but mostly because it's a simple scuffed rig. But normally, normally the tongue would be separated. Okay, now that we have that, then we make the 2 keyforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
For mouth open.
Yeah. And then go to 0, the leftmost part of the parameter, and then you close it. You can either move it up or use the brush tool. And that's where the lip up mask plays into its role, because you don't really have to you don't really have to think about whether or not it's bleeding beyond the upper lip. Yeah, see, like that. At least you won't have to worry about that because you have the mask shape. Okay, now we have the mouth form. Now we have the mouth and the eyeballs. Yeah, okay. Right. I forgot. So for the IR, right? You can go ahead and select everything, as in everything, the parts, just to make sure to cover our bases. The parts, the warp deformers, everything. Just for the IR, you can go ahead and scroll over to IL open under parameter, and then right click on the keyform, and then change. On the drop down arrow, you select change. Because we're gonna be switching those IR parts under the IR open parameter, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Change, and then scroll down to IR open, and then okay. There you go.
Oh,
so now so now it's blinking independently. And don't deselect yet, because we're gonna do the same for the brows. So now we are just going to right click on the mouth form for now on the parameter, and then we're going to replicate the parameters. And then on that replicated parameter, we're gonna edit it, right click edit parameter, Then we're gonna rename it to Mouth X, and with an ID of Paramouth X. Just delete Form 2 and replace it with X. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Change it to blend shape. Check the blend shape button. Okay, there you go. Blend shape! Advanced learning! Yeah, go ahead. We are going to take the mouth parameter, the big group thing, the parent parameter of the mouth. We are going to make a 3 keyform parameter under mouth X with that mouth. Using the deform brush tool, you can go ahead and smirk him. Make him smirk on the left side. And then if you need more help, you can just open the mouth first so you can kind of see where you're going.
So on the left side, you want me to just like...
Oh, you're on the right side right now, so...
Oh.
Yeah, you can smirk the right side then. This is some advanced stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But also, at least, you kind of know what these things are. Blend shape? Ooh, what that? You can just do the drop down and then reflect it. So the smirk is happening on the other side. Yeah. Oh, I actually want to move the mustache up a little bit as the mouth opens, but that's really more of me. So I'm just gonna create a warp deformer for the mustache. If you want to follow along, it's fine. And then I'll make... Yeah. Stasher. Yeah, perfect. Stash. And then you can go ahead and make the 2 keyforms and move it up a little bit when the mouth opens. Just a little bit. Then after this, we can finally put some hair on him. He's been bald for long enough.
Too long.
Too long. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
We'll do the ears after the hair because I'm just excited to do the hair already. You can go ahead and... Yeah. You can go ahead and unhide the hair bits. Or you can show the fringe first. Yeah, let's work on the fringe first, actually. Like the front part of the hair. Hey, baby hair. Okay.
I'm like that Cookie Mama baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and create a warp deformer. Like, name it like XY fringe or something. The naming convention, you can just worry about that next time, like in terms of uniformity. But for now, for the sake of the stream, let's do it this way. Okay. And then we'll just extend the green box with Control-Shift-Alt and then dragging it out. Because we're gonna be adding a physics warp deformer later inside of this warp deformer, so we need a lot of space. But not too much, not too big, it's fine. And then I usually just like to center the green box on the line, but it's up to you, really. Oops. Make sure not to move the picture, yeah. So now, what I like to do when it comes to the hair parts is I overly rely on the brush, the deform brush tool, and then I'll just move it myself. That's so I could kind of arc it, so I'm still kind of following an invisible scalp line. But of course I'm still using the shift arrow maneuver. So I can at least save some time with moving the stuff and things. Just make sure to create 3 keyforms under angle X first before moving anything. Now the mirror editing is very effective if the warp deformer is center aligned, so that's why I keep asking you to put it in the middle of the blue line. So it's really helpful to have a guideline there. Because if the warp deformer tool isn't center aligned, then the motion mirroring would be messed up. Not by too much, but it'll be noticeable if it's being applied to a lot of parts of the model. Now that we're done with that, we're gonna do the same with the side hair R and L. You can just group it together. You can just put it under one warp deformer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Side XY side hair. But I usually just call it side H. Sometimes even SDH. Just to save me some time. And then like usual, just center align it first and then expand, make the green box bigger for later. And then we can do the same with either the green anchor points or with the brush deform tool. And then sometimes I would even select some of the points, like the purple points from earlier with the click drag, just so I could resize one part at a time. I'll just make sure to cover some gaps, if any, with the fringe. How's it going so far? Doing good? Doing good? Can you still do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'll do my best, and then if I'm going too fast, or if you need me to pause, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So far we have the X parameter, the X angles for the front hair. Let's do that for the back hair then. Yeah, we'll do the angle Y in a bit. Let's do the X parts first. Then just make a warp deformer for the back hair. And then make 3 keyforms for angle X. Just keep it in mind though that if the face, the front part of the head goes left...
I mean the back part, yeah.
Yeah, the back part of the head goes right. I also tell this to myself, because sometimes I forget. So now we're just gonna go ahead and keep deforming it. There you go, just like that. I already forgot. I moved it incorrectly. But that's okay. And then just use motion mirroring to save you time once you've done one side. It's looking pretty good actually.
Thank you.
Okay. You done with your angle X stuff?
I believe so.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. So now we're gonna go back to fringe, XY fringe. And then we're gonna do it in a similar style like what we did for the face earlier, wherein we're gonna make another warp deformer over the XY fringe and name that Y fringe.
Y fringe. That's what I want.
Why not? On the angle X first, because we're gonna extend the, what is it, the bounding box, the green box of angle Y for the fringe.
Yeah.
So you go to -30 on angle X, so you have a bit of a guide. And then while selecting Y fringe, like what you have right now, you can go ahead and expand the green box. Yeah, there you go, just to make sure that the red is still inside, the red box is still inside the green box. Yeah. This is so whatever we do on this warp deformer, it's still going to affect all parts and movements of the deformer under it. Okay, so now we can start deforming. You can either hide the side hair again if you need help, if you need so you're not confused, it's up to you, but I'll hide mine.
I think this is a good look for this.
Yeah, it can be a toggle. Okay, so now you can go ahead and do the deformation for the Y fringe. Why not? Just make sure to make the keyforms first and then move it around. It really baffles me that there are Live2D riggers out there that can make a whole body character turn 360. Like rotate 360. It's like, at this point, just do 3D. But it's kind of like me with Live2D as well, wherein I treat Live2D as a hammer, and I treat every animation stuff that I see as a nail. So it's like, when I see an animation, I'm like, I can do that with Live2D, even though I actually can't. But I'll try. Like, sometimes After Effects is better, but I still insist in using Live2D. So now that we have the individual angle X and angle Y, we're gonna be checking the corners then. So you can go ahead and link angle X and angle Y so we can see what we've got so far. So now it would, it's okay. We'll work on it. So now we can just edit the Y parameters, like the Y back hair, Y fringe, and Y side hair. We can just edit it from there. So what I like to do, it's a bit of an onga bonga way, just editing from there instead of making another warp deformer and then renaming it properly, because you're working on a free version, so we're kind of doing our best to limit the warp deformers as well. So what I like to do is I take the Y fringe, Y side hair, Y back hair, and then I make a keyform for the angle X as well. You can do that by, since you have angle X and Y linked already and selected, you can just go ahead and click on the 3 keyform button. Once you have the Y parts selected.
Really, unga bunga it.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Sometimes the unga bunga is the solution to things. Sometimes, you can be organized and be meticulous about it, but other times you just want to get to the effect, to the results. And as long as the results look clean enough, it doesn't really matter how you got there. As long as you don't apply that same mentality to everything. Just apply it to Live2D.
Exactly.
Actually, I think I'm also happy with my hair corners. So now that we've done the head, we'll do the ears first. Because I totally forgot about the ears. Do you want to do it one by one, or do you want to do both at the same time?
What do you usually do?
I usually do one by one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let's do one by one then. Okay, since we have like a full opacity ear, let's take the ear L. And then we can make a warp deformer. We can probably name it X ear L, because we're gonna do it in the same way as the hair parts again, wherein we do the X first, and then Y, and then X and Y corners. And then we unlink angle X, and then we make the 3 keyforms for angle X. And then we're just gonna move the ear slightly. Okay, now that we have that, we can go ahead and do the Y, angle Y, parameter and deformation. What I like to do is, I kind of like to kind of diagonal it, but downwards. But so for you to do that, either you take the anchor points and do it manually, or we can go to modeling, modeling temporary deform tool, and then let's do distort. And then you can just you can deform it from there. I like to take the middle red square, like the left and right middle red square, so I can skew it a lot faster.
Alright, I think I'm satisfied with that.
Awesome. So now that we have one ear, we're just gonna select all 3 parts, the Y ear, X ear, and then the ear L. Yeah, all of it. Then copy paste it under the ear folder as well. And then taking the Y ear parameter, warp deformer, just the Y ear is fine. You can go ahead and create another warp deformer over it.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to name it, it's fine. It's just a temporary warp deformer. And then that's where we will reflect it. That's where we will flip it by modeling edit form and then flip. Then align it. Once we're happy, we can delete the guide image and also the temporary warp deformer. Yippee! Now you have the ears. The corner should be okay too. Yeah. There you go. Alright, now for the horns. Yeah. Okay. So for the first part, we are going to... let's do the patterns first. So we're gonna make a new parameter. So under the parameter window, there's a plus sign. There you go. We can just name it pattern loop, maybe? The range, we can do it with a minimum of 0, default 0, and maximum 30. Everything else can stay the same. Yeah. Press OK first, and then right-click edit parameter. It's a weird thing because the repeat wasn't there, because we need the repeat. Can you do that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, do it. Yes.
Do it.
So now, we are going to take our horns pattern, and we're going to create a warp deformer. Oh, actually, before anything, maybe let's move the horns pattern a little bit more to the center of the horn, because I think it's a little too on the edge. Just move it a little bit. So now we're gonna do a bit of a freestyling. So with on the parameter window, you select pattern loop, and then you make 2 keyforms first, and then you kind of eyeball like 1/3 of the way, because the 3 keyform is just 1/2 of the way. And then once you're on the first 1/3, you can go ahead and create a single keyform. Oh, with the maths, okay. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Also, math. So you can.
Were you having trouble with a third of 30?
No. Yes. Just kidding. Okay, so you go ahead. Yeah, the number thing that you did just now. If you click on the number thing to make the 10, the window with the keyform will appear. Yeah, add a keyform. Go ahead, and then do it on 20 as well. And then that's where we will move the pattern around. So on the 10 keyform, you can move your pattern either on the left, right, up, down. It's up to you. Do the same for the 20 keyform. Just move it to a different spot. So now, since no, we're not gonna touch the 30 and 0. So now that it's on a repeat, now it's on a repeat parameter, you can go ahead and test it out. So it's kind of like moving around. I just turned it into a static image just to give you the concept of a looping parameter. But we'll animate this later, so we can move it very slowly. And then to make the movement of the deformer a little more smoother, we're just gonna go ahead and apply extended interpolation, the one that we did earlier for the face, which is under modeling, parameter, and an extended interpolation. Yeah, you can edit it if you want. So now that we have that, we can just take the horn color line and highlight first the parts, and then you're gonna make a warp deformer and name it X horn, maybe? X horn L. That's how I'll name mine. And then just extend it a little bit, not too much. Like make the green box bigger. And then we are going to take the horns pattern warp deformer, and then we're just gonna drag it on top of X horn L. So now, if you look at the deformer window, the pattern horns parameter deformer is underneath the X horn.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the deformer is way bigger than the parent deformer being X horn L. So there's gonna be a bit of there's gonna be a bit of extra distortion once you move the X horn L around to the pattern, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue since it's a pattern.
All right.
Okay, so now we don't have to think about the pattern for now. We'll see later if there's an error or anything. We'll see. So now we're gonna take the X horn L and make a 3 keyform parameter under angle X, and then we can start moving it around from the -30 and 30.
Yeah, okay, I can dig that.
Yeah, you happy with what you've got?
I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So now, like earlier, we're just gonna make a Y horn L deformer and extend it if needed. I don't think I need it this time. Oh, I do need it. A little bit. There you go. And then just go ahead and make the 3 keyforms and go from there.
Alright, I think I'm done.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So now that we have one horn, we're just gonna go ahead and copy the entire horn L folder and then paste it under the horns folder and rename it as horn R. You can apply the renaming thing for all the deformer parts, but the only thing that matters for now is renaming the Y horn L to Y horn R.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You got it?
I got it.
Okay. So now we're gonna encase that into a temporary warp deformer tool. Kinda like what we did with the ears earlier. The Y horn R. Okay. So now we're going to flip it. So now we're just gonna go ahead and check what our horns look like on the corners. Oh, actually we're gonna flip the X horn first.
Right, yep.
Yeah. Oops. Wrong one. This one. There you go. And now you can go ahead and check the corners of the face if you're still happy with it. I'm happy with what I have so far. And then if you want to adjust it, you can go ahead and do so. I think at this point you should create a keyform for both angle X and Y if you're going to edit the corners, so it's applied to the corners that you're editing it at.
I think I'm good with what it looks like.
Awesome. Me too. Okay, so now we've pretty much done the head part. We have the angle X and Y. And we also have an angle Z from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So now we will do physics. And now we're gonna start making new parameters then under the physics folder.
Okay.
Yeah. Create a new parameter with the plus sign. And then maybe we can do the fringe physics first. So we can name it like, because I usually just say PY for physics Y and then fringe.
Fringes.
Yeah. And then make sure that the minimum is -30, default at 0, and then maximum at 30. We can just start making the parameters for the rest of the physics first. So since we have PY fringe, we can go ahead and replicate that same parameter. Excuse me. And then just rename it as PX for physics X. And then we can do the same. We can then replicate these two PX PY fringe parameters. And then we can just rename it into side hair. Since you're...
So wait,
Whoa, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you first.
No, but we replicate the physics folder?
No. The two physics parameters that we've done so far. Yeah, we can replicate that. And then you can rename it. You can drag and drop it so you can keep it organized. And then you can rename it into side hair physics. In my case, I named it as PX_side hair, but it's up to you how you want to rename it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then since your character's hair is short, we can probably skip adding physics to the back of the hair for now. Because we're also going to add physics to the lower part of the jacket. So you can go ahead and replicate the two XY physics that you have another time, and then rename it as PX jacket, PY jacket, or however you want. As long as you know which one is the X and Y.
Okay.
Okay. So now that you have the physics for the fringe, side hair, and jacket, we're just gonna go ahead and replicate one more time. And rename it as physics body, because we're gonna make the body bounce and go side to side every time you move your head.
We're gonna make it bounce on it, Dio.
Okay.
Right.
So now that we have fringe, side hair, jacket, body, we can go ahead and do the physics for the fringe now.
Okay.
So before anything, right click on your PY fringe for your physics Y fringe. I want you to try something first.
Okay.
Edit parameter and then turn it into blend shape. And then do that for all of the Y physics that you have. I wonder how many you can make on the free version, but it shouldn't be too much. Should be okay.
Limit blend shape is 3 objects.
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, so we've done 3 blend shapes already. So which one did you make? Side hair and fringe? Oh, that's perfect. Okay, that's fine. We can just manually do the Y jacket physics later. Okay, let's focus on the fringe first. Now, take the fringe image, like the fringe part itself, and then you make another warp deformer. That's why we needed the warp deformers earlier to be big, because we're gonna do the physics stuff inside of it. So now, you can go ahead and rename that however you want. I'll name it as PXY fringe. And then, with the power of blend shape, although we can't apply this to the face angles, the blend shape means it'll blend the shape. It'll mean you don't have to think about making a Y warp deformer just to make the Y like parameter stuff, because it's automatically gonna make the corners for you already. That's the power of blend shape, yeah. But it's not perfect, so we don't really apply that for the face corners. So now what you can do is you make a 3 keyform under PX fringe and PY fringe at the same time, so we can cut a few minutes off, but that's fine. As long as the PY fringe is already blend shape. So now you're gonna take PX fringe and go to -30, and then you can go ahead and swoosh it. You can do the curve thing, the physics thing. I usually use the deform brush tool heavily on this one, so I can really arc it. I just make sure that the brush tool is a bit big. Maybe don't touch the top part of the fringe too much, because it might break the angle X stuff. You can just a quick little thing, but please select your PX and Y fringe parameters, and then we'll just add a quick little extended interpolation. And then this time you select SNS interpolation. That's kind of like a softer curve instead of a literal circle. So the motion isn't too like rigid. So anyway, now that we've done that, we can set that and forget that. And now we're gonna be working on the fringe Y. It helps to exaggerate it a little bit because we're gonna add in the physics numbers and math later. Don't worry, we're not actually gonna do math.
Whew, thank God.
Whew, I know. And then we can just do the same for the side hair. Now the reason why we have to make warp deformers for nearly each part of the model is because it's gonna get real messy real fast if we just go in it raw, if we just edit the picture itself. But I do know that there are features in Live2D, such as the glue feature, which we're not gonna discuss today because it's even I haven't quite wrapped my head around the concept of glue. But it basically makes use of the image itself instead of a warp deformer, and it can get pretty messy. But I've seen other Live2D artists really utilize the glue tool. Like, I've seen some artists make a horn piece turn really well, even though it's just one flat image of a horn, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're even able to do that on shoes as well. For example, if the artist just drew it on one layer, even though shoes might need more than one layer for sure. And then, although, well, I guess it makes use of glue, but I've seen other Live2D artists also make use of the glue to make a whole gun rig. Like, they can make an entire gun from flat images. Like the what, sorry?
Like works, like it like has an animation that like...
Yeah, I've seen some of them have the trigger animation thing with the, what is it, the top part, the barrel part doing the back and forth thing.
Yeah, the slide.
Yeah, the slide thing. All while it's able to turn 180 degrees. It's crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So now we're gonna leave the entire head pieces alone, and we're gonna go ahead and scroll down to the jacket folder. Oh yeah, there you are. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. And then you're gonna take the jacket front and jacket back, and you're gonna make a warp deformer. That's where the physics will be. PXY or just PX jacket. Because we've run out of blend shapes. So I will join you in the no more blend shape style. Okay, you've done it? Okay, awesome. So hold on. We're gonna make keyforms under jacket X, PX jacket for now. Okay. And then we're gonna move it left and right. Not too much though, because the jacket might go beyond where the legs are, but just enough to show that there is movement on the jacket. I'll also add extended interpolation just to smoothen the movement. So now that we have that, we can just make another warp deformer over the PX jacket. Name it Physics Y jacket or PY. And then that's where we're gonna do the parameter keyform under Physics Y. And then we can just move the jacket down. Maybe you can do it via click dragging and then just deforming the bottom part of the jacket. Or you can do it manually with either the deform brush tool or with the anchor points. Whenever I do Physics Y stuff, I like to kind of curve the shape inwards if it's going down. And then I like to kind of shape the shape outwards if it's going up. So there's a bit of a ballooning and a flattening kind of motion. Just for an...
like a...
Yeah.
I was gonna say like a squash and stretch kind of...
Yeah! Exactly. Squash and stretch. I just reviewed the 12 principles of animation the other day. And I'm like, okay, I still got it. I still got most of it, at least.
That's good.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting the terminologies. It's the same with me and Live2D and other softwares. It's just a lot of softwares and terminologies to remember. Now that we've done the jacket, are you done with the jacket?
I'm done with the jacket.
Okay, awesome. So now we're gonna do the same for the body. So under the deformer window, you can go ahead and what is this? Collapse all. Press the collapse all again. It's the arrow thing beside the lock key. Yeah. And then open body Z, the arrow, and then select everything. Select everything under body Z. Yeah, like that. Yeah. And then make a warp deformer for all of those and rename it as PX body or physics X body.
Okay.
Okay. And then you make 3 keyforms under the physics body X parameter. And then you kind of just make him lean a little bit. Let's do the distort again under modeling. So then you're just gonna take the upper middle red square, the pivot point I think it's called, and then you're just gonna make him lean a little bit to the side. Yeah. So it's kind of like he's leaning every time, like kind of like in addition to the body Z that we did earlier, he's also gonna lean. Oops. Yeah, just a little bit. Just
Michael Jackson.
yeah.
Smooth criminal.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just to add a bit of flavor in the physics later on.
Right.
And then you can go ahead and press check once you're done. The check mark. Yeah. And then motion mirroring. It'll all make sense later. And then we're gonna make another warp deformer over the PX body. And then rename it as PY body. And then we're gonna just squish them down on negative 30. You can do it manually, it's fine. And you'll notice that the head and the arms aren't deforming. Yeah. That's because it's under a rotation deformer. And rotation, rotation deformers doesn't deform. So what we're really trying to do is we're just giving him a slight up and down motion, kind of like when he's talking or when he's like bouncing his head. We're just gonna make him up and down a little bit. So you don't have to do too much. Oh, thank you for the head pat, Leonidas. So now that we've done that, let's go take another 10-minute break.
Okay.
Yeah. It's looking pretty good. We're pretty much done. We just have to set the physics settings later after the break, and then we're just gonna create a quick animation loop for your horns, and then we'll export it to VTube Studio. I returned. Thank you for your patience, Xander. How are things going so far?
Good. Same as before.
Okay. How are you guys? We're doing okay. I hope you're doing okay as well, Eri. All right.
She's the one who drew and rigged my model.
Oh, hello. Hello, parent. I also am parent. Awesome. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is to set up the physics. Ooh, it was a horror thing for me back in the day. Even a little bit until now. Now that we've done the entire rig, we're gonna be moving on to the physics. You can go ahead and go to the physics settings window.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That looks so cute. Yeah. The little guy. Look at the little guy. And then just to play around with it, you can go to the edit window and drag your mouse around, and then he's gonna follow your head. Like in the edit window. Sorry, the white window. Yeah. He's gonna follow you. See? There's a little bit of a motion going on there already. Okay. So now we're just gonna go ahead and just check a few things first. Make sure that the calculate FPS is at 30. Mine is at 30. I think yours is at 30 as well. Okay. And then
That's fine.
Now we're just gonna go ahead and click add beside the group. Yeah, add. And then we're gonna name this physics X fringe. In my case, it'll be PX fringe. And then we don't need to think about that stuff for now. We're gonna do everything manually because that's how I do it. Although I could teach you how to do the automatic stuff later, but let's try the manual style first. Okay, you can go ahead and press OK. So now we're gonna, under the input settings where the window is right now, you can go ahead and press add again. Not the same one, that one. And then you can add in angle X, because that'll be like the input parameter that it's gonna read to make the physics X swing and stuff. Okay, you can press OK. And then under the physics model settings, under the pendulum settings rather, you can go ahead and add 1. There you go. So now comes the sort of complicated part, because these are big words and I'd like to share with you or quickly explain to you what these mean.
Okay.
Okay, so for the duration, it basically means the speed of swinging. So right now it's at 10. So it's kind of like a long hair or kind of like a long chain if you're thinking of the accessories and stuff. Actually, to give you a visual representation, let's go ahead and go to output settings first. And then you can go ahead and add the PX fringe, the physics X fringe that you've done. And then maybe set it to like, let's say 18, the scale. Just so we can see its effectiveness right away. I've been watching since 4. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Do your eyes have a film over them like an owl's when you blink? That's so cool. Yeah, I do. Yeah, nictitating membrane. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for filling in for me as well, folks at home. Anyway, so now the duration right now is at 10. So if you move the fringe around, it feels kind of heavy. Like move it around with the angle X parameter. So that's what the duration means. And then for the shaking influence, I believe shaking influence is that you can adjust the amount of swinging. So right now it's at 95. So it's very shaky right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you lower the shaking influence to say 0.5 or something, then it wouldn't be as shaky. Or 0.3 if you really want to see a big change. Like it's very slow. Like even you can see on the pendulum, it's very slow. But for the sake of the fringe, maybe I like to keep it around 0.9. Let's keep it at that. And then maybe the duration, we can make it shorter. Maybe at 5. So it swings a little faster. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, right? And then the reaction time means it reacts faster, so there's not a lot of delay. But if you lower it to say 26, it's too slow to the point that it kind of breaks. Yeah, see? So,
right, okay.
Yeah, so for the sake of VTuber models, I like to keep it at 1 because sometimes we get too hyped, we get too excited that we shake our head too much that it sometimes breaks the physics. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't swing upwards as much. It's unique.
Right, okay.
Okay, and then finally, the speed of convergence, the conversion speed, is how fast the swinging will stop. So if it's fast, it'll stop faster, and then if it's slow, it might also break if you move your head around too much. It's kind of similar to the reaction time, that's why I get a little confused. So for the sake of this rig, let's keep reaction time and convergence at 1 for all of the rigs. Okay. Yeah, let's keep the shaking influence at 95 since it's a short fringe. So now we have the physics X for the fringe.
Okay.
So now we're gonna duplicate that and rename it into physics Y.
So
there's a duplicate button right beside the group physics X fringe, enable add, then there's duplicate. Yeah. There you go. Then rename it as Y. So now you have the physics Y fringe. So let's go ahead and go back to the input settings, sorry. And then change it to angle Y. And then same with the output settings. Change it to your physics Y fringe. Then you can go ahead and test it out. Yeah, see? I do want to go back to physics X fringe, if you please. Yeah. And then go back to input settings, because we can add angle Z and body Z as well here. So you can go ahead and press add, yeah. And then angle Z and body Z. We didn't do body X and Y, but that's okay. It's a quick scuffed rig, but it's okay, as long as we learn something. Okay, so since it says angle type, we're gonna go ahead and maybe set 70 for angle Z for the effectiveness, and then 30 for the body Z, because the head is the hair is connected to the head, so the angle Z will have more say. So when you turn your head, the fringe will move a little bit, and it'll also kind of move along with the angle Z. And then we're also going to adjust the normalization of input as well. I forgot to do that first step. So under the normalization of input, and then under angle minimum and maximum, lower to the left, a little higher. There you go. Yeah. Okay. And then set it to -30 and +30 for the maximum. Just for the angle. You don't have to touch position X. Yeah, there you go. That way, if there's a bit more motion when you do the angle Z and body Z, because it's like the what is it? The effectiveness of the angle type is greater. There you go. And then we can just do the same under PY fringe for the angle minimum maximum. Let's go do that. Yeah, the under PY fringe, the group. Yeah. Just that one, but everything else can stay the same. So now that we have that, actually, we can quickly just do a trial for the what do you call this, the automatic pendulum setting thing. So let's click add once again beside the group, and then we can call this side hair. So PX side hair on my end, and then under input preset, we can go ahead and select head input, and then physics model preset, we can probably select short hair, and then okay. Yeah, and then there you go. They have body X, but we don't really need it, so we can go ahead and delete body X under the input settings. So that way we can max out the effectiveness of angle X. Also, thank you for the follow, Ariomi. I appreciate it. You can go ahead and max out the angle X effectiveness as well. And then under output settings, it's all of input-output editing stuff, so you can add it and then you add your side hair. We can also put the scale on 18 as well, like earlier. Yeah, there you go, see? Yeah. And then since we already have the side hair X stuff, we can just duplicate that one. Then for the Y, because why not? Then change the X physics into Y physics, and then change the input to angle Y instead, and then just delete the other ones, because we really only need Y. Yeah, and then delete. Yeah, there you go. So now you have the physics setting for the hair. There you go. Your very own VTuber model. We did it! Now we just have to do the animation for your horns now.
Right.
And then just... You see the project, right? So just drag and drop that into the timeline. Can you do that for free? Yeah. Press OK. And then just so you could see what you're doing, go to... Click on Scene 1. On the scene on the leftmost side of the screen, yeah. And then turn off fixed aspect ratio. And then you can go ahead and maybe change the width and height to 1300, just so we could see where we're going. And then you can go ahead and move the model down. It's okay, we don't really, the canvas size doesn't really matter for VTube Studio. We just need this to see where we're going when we preview the animation. Actually, I'll make it into 1500 so I can see the horns better. Okay, and then the duration, we can do it maybe 15 seconds. So that's 15:00. Okay, so now, under the timeline window, you can go ahead and click on the arrow button right beside the project name on the timeline window. The blue name. Yeah. There should be a, yeah, there you go. And then Live2D parameters. And then take the pattern loop parameter. Just find the pattern loop parameter that we did earlier. And then you right click on the on the keyform 0, sorry. The 0 keyform, there you go. Now you have a keyform on the timeline. And then go to 15 seconds. Go to the last keyform and then click on the yeah, there you go. Do that. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me do mine as well.
Yeah.
And then what I like to do is I actually like to go one keyframe beyond the 15 seconds, so you can go ahead and do that. There you go. Perfect. So now you can go ahead and play enter just to see where we're at. If you think it's too slow, then We can change up the seconds, or is that okay for you?
It's a little slower than I'd like.
Okay, we can do 10 seconds if you'd like.
Yeah, let's see what that looks like.
Yeah. You can change the duration under the inspector and then also on the timeline.
Yeah, okay. I dig that, I guess.
Awesome. So you can just go ahead and change the duration time under the inspector to 10. Now here's the fun part. I haven't actually done looping animations. So we're gonna learn this together.
Okay.
Okay, let me see your loop again, please. Maybe move it 1 frame beyond the 10th second. So the loop start isn't so jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So what we're gonna do for this file, I think, is to file. Oh, you can stop the playing first so you won't get confused. Okay, press file on the upper left, yeah. Export for runtime, and then export motion file, and then just press OK. Wait. Yeah, okay. And then I think, wait a second, because we can just press OK for this one.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and hide my window. And then on this window, first of all, let's save. Yeah, you can save that one also, just in case we need to go back to it later. So now on the model window, you can go ahead and press File, Save, Export for Runtime.
Okay.
And then select Export as Mach 3 file.
Okay.
I think all of these settings should be fine. So you can just go ahead and save it. What's this? Oh, let's hide the guide layer first.
Right, okay.
Okay, just the guide layer.
Guide.
Yeah, up there. Yeah, there you go. Now let's do the thing, exporting. You can go ahead and just press OK for everything. And then just put it in a folder. Maybe create a new folder. Just to keep things organized, because that folder will be where we'll drag and drop it into VTube Studio.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So now we're just gonna go ahead and drag and drop that folder into your Live2D models folder under VTube Studio data.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Files.
Now let me just look for it on my end.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So now let's go to VTube Studio. Hi, there's 2 of us.
Hey.
There you go. Horns. There you go. Okay. I do want to go back to the Live2D editor, please, because I forgot to clip the horns, the highlight of the horns. Yay! There you go! Yippee!
Yay!
Yay! Okay, just a few more tweaks, and we should be done for reals. So now it's a matter of guessing who is who. Yay! We've done it.
Could be anybody.
We could be anybody. We even have a bit of a mouth X. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I hope you learned at least something today. I
Absolutely, yeah.
I did my best to tutor you, and I hope I wasn't too fast or whatever.
No, it was great.
Yeah. And then I'll just send you this file later on, or maybe tomorrow when I have the energy. Yeah. We can move each other around. Yay. Oh, shuffle. Who's who now? And then I can make you tiny. Yeah! Awesome. And now you have your very own scuff model. Oh, or maybe a tiny you on top of underneath a bigger you. What? Still right? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me teach you.
And thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, I did my best. Aw, this is nice. Cause now at this point, we're like matchies. Because I also have this one. Hee. Although I'm very tiny.
Yeah.
Look at me. Now we match.
Yep.
We have a similar art style kind of scuff model. Wherein we're stuck in an A pose.
Yeah.
I'm so tiny. I mean, I'm made a bit taller because of my mascot Bihun. But you know, at least we did it. We made it, and you made it. You made your very own VTuber model in a span of 5 hours. Can you believe it? Yeah.
I mean, I can't actually. I'm shocked.
Oh. I'm going back to twinsies. Yippee! There you go.
Yay!
Yay! And with that, I think we can take it easy, take a break, and end the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really long break.
I know, really long break. I'm gonna wind down, maybe edit more videos or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just play Final Fantasy. I don't know. Depends on my mood in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you so much for having me on your stream, and thank you so much for joining me on my stream.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This was great.
And I hope you had fun learning.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you once again for having me on and for inviting me to teach you how to do Live2D in general.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to it was a mystery to me how to actually do this.
Yeah, totally.
Now,
Yeah. So now you at least have an idea on how Live2D models are created.
exactly. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the model file that we worked on had like 36 layers, and that took us a while.
And hopefully we can plan maybe like an intermediate one of these, like another like tutorial stream.
Oh,
maybe in the
yes,
future.
of course. Something yeah, we can totally do something like this. We'll see.
We can work something out.
Maybe you can teach me something next time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, totally. Maybe you can teach me some of the learnings that other people have taught you. So it's kind of like, and since it's newish to you as well, it could probably be like the half blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
We could totally do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much once again. I appreciate you having me. And I appreciate for everyone else at home, for you folks at home on both Xander and my side of the chat, to join me on this 5-hour journey of learning and teaching Live2D. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Okay.
I'm going to rate into you, and then you can rate into whoever you want.
Okay. I will wait. Because I'm gonna do like some closing notes and all that stuff. But goodbye.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm unable to rate you at this time. Why not? Why?
Why not? Oh, maybe leave shared chat. Maybe we should disconnect or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was fun, wasn't it? Also, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to read a lot of chat. It was a lot of locking in for teaching, and I did my best to not go too fast or too slow, and I did mention before that I wanted patience training. Although it's not like it's set off or anything, but I think this really helped me out as well in terms of communicating with others and also teaching others what I know. Because it really has been a while since I've taught someone anything, really. Because I did also mention before that I was an art director a few years before, so it's been a while since I've practiced my art directing skills, and I think we did a pretty good job, don't you think? Fun indeed. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for thinking so true. Teaching is also about patience, right? And at least I didn't panic as well, because I have a tendency to panic as well. And yeah, overall patience training, overall great socializing skills and spending time, fun time creating a VTuber model and all that stuff. Maybe someday I'll make a dedicated proper Live2D tutorial for YouTube, one with a sample model PSD that you folks at home can download and follow along. If ever, we'll see. Low prio stuff. I still have a lot of VODs that I have to edit, so maybe it'll be like a bottom of the barrel kind of stuff for me to make a proper Live2D tutorial, so there's that. Don't worry. Excuse me. I also panic during some stuff. Exactly. Anyway, thank you so much for joining my stream once again, and thank you so much once again to Soul King Xander for joining me on today's stream. And everyone else at home who's watching at home right now. Bye bye, Kuwa. Have a great day. Enjoy your dinner if you don't have it. Just curious. Yeah. Okay.